Today I'm breaking down one of my actual trades, what I picked, why I picked it, and where I lost money. I'm still learning, so this is raw. If my stock selection is bad, nothing else matters. So I'm definitely focusing on that today. Okay, so market conditions today were actually pretty good. When I checked in with Google, it said that stocks are higher, and the Dow Jones is up. That all sounds great. Um, Gold had been selling off. Maybe people are taking profit off the table to cover elsewhere. Bitcoin hovering around 70K. I thought it was going to break 75 last week, but it didn't. So, um, in any case, even though the stock market in general is up, Bitcoin is still not breaking over 75. And from what I understand, Bitcoin and small caps are pretty closely correlated, and I'm trading small caps. So that was the market condition today. Also, historically, I have not done well on Mondays, and this is starting to get in my head. So I'm going to start with a one-day trade, hoping to improve. Um, so what I was looking for today was a small cap that I could trade. I follow Ross Cameron of Warrior Trading. I'll put the link in the description below. If you haven't heard of Ross Cameron, he's pretty famous, very successful day trader who trades small caps. I've been following him for a while, going through his courses, and so I've been trading for about a year and with real money since last July. But I feel like I haven't been able to, I've been improving, but I'm not really turning the corner. So I'm going to start documenting some of my trades live in the hopes of improving. So today I was looking for a stock that met the 5 pillars of stock selection. If you're not familiar with Ross Cameron's system, I'll go over it. The first criteria is that the price is between 2 and $20. Okay, so actually, let me share my screen. I'll show you what I was traded. So the trade we're going to go over today is one called um, UGRO. Okay, so the first criteria was between $2 and $20, and this stock I got in at $3.33. So it met criteria number one. Number two, the float should be under 20 million. This one was under a million. I do subscribe to Warrior Trading's scanners, and so I use that to find my stocks. The third criteria is that the relative volume should be 5 times the 50-day average. It was. Fourth criteria is that the price should be gapping up 10% over the previous day's close. Yes, it met that criteria. And finally, it should have breaking news, which it did. And the news seemed good. To be honest, I didn't completely understand the news, but it seemed good. So I thought this was a good stock to get in on. Um, I so as far as stock selection, I'm gonna give myself an A plus. Um, and it was running, the price was running up. So let's go. I'm learning how to use TraderView to analyze my trades, and one of the things I was really underutilizing the charts feature. So today I set that up with a minute chart, a 5-minute chart, and a daily chart for each stock with some of the indicators that I tend to use to trade. So um, here you can see that the stock was running up. I missed this first pullback, so I was looking for another pullback, bull flag pullback. Um, that was the setup that I was looking for. That's the setup that seems to be working the best for me overall. So, before I took the trade, I looked at several indicators. You can see here, this is where I took the trade. Okay, right here, this little green arrow. The MACD was green. Okay, the volume bar, I was looking for the first candle to make a new high over this candle right here. Okay, so this was at $3.16. Once the price broke over that amount, I was waiting for the volume bar to go up, and I got in at $3.33, which is high. I mean, ideally, I would have gotten in right at like 317 or something. So there were no huge sellers on level two. There was green on the tape. The volume bar was green and increasing. Um, all the pieces seemed to be there for a bull flag breakout. However, I got in really high and it turned over, it rejected. It didn't keep going. Okay. And I gave it a second thinking it was a micro pullback, but then it just kept going down. Now, initially, one of the other things I'm working on with my trading is setting an initial risk, initial stop. So I traded 1,000 shares. Okay, it says 2,000 here because it's 1,000 when I buy and 1,000 when I sell. That's the number of total shares traded. I set my stop at 20 cents a share, which was $200. Well, the price dipped down to 323 and I didn't sell. I was hoping it would pop back up. Okay. So, some people set the stop at the bottom of the last low candle, which would have been $2.96. Okay, but I had said I was going to stop at 20 cents a share and I didn't. It actually did pop back up right above 30, let's see, right to 33 cents a share, and I didn't sell. And it even went up to 342 here, like 340, 339. And then it rejected. And the volume started decreasing here. This is a big red candle and decreasing, and the MACD started to turn over. I still didn't sell. This is where I got stubborn. It's in my head that I don't do well on Mondays. I just didn't want another loss. And by the time I accepted it, I was all the way down here. Let's see, the price I sold out was $2.90. So, um, the setup, so let me just kind of summarize the whole thing. The setup I was looking for was a bull flag pullback. There was a false breakout, but my entry was too high. In hindsight, I got in too late and I didn't sell at my stop. I showed hesitation. I let my emotions get the best of me and I wrote it down and almost 45 cents a share. That's hard to swallow. This has already been kind of a rough month. So this didn't put me right on the month or anything, but obviously it's a terrible way to start the trading day and a terrible way to start the trading week. So that was a big bummer. So my stop loss was at 20 cents a share. I didn't, and I placed it there because that really is my risk tolerance, and I feel like that's reasonable. I do. I just didn't stick to it. So I was just going on a hope and a prayer. Okay, so my big takeaway for today was my stock selection was solid. My indicators were good, but it was a false breakout. And instead of accepting it, I need to get out when I say I am going to get out. Okay, so I'm documenting the trades so that I can get better and improve. I'm not going to just post wins. I'm actually going to post wins and losses, the ones that I think I need to analyze the most. If you want to follow this journey with me as I get better, then subscribe, and I will see you next time.